Last night, at a packed steakhouse in Dallas, I proposed to my fiancée with a $14,000 custom ring. The kicker? My ex, who once mocked my worth, was seated 2 tables away, frozen in disbelief as the entire place cheered for us. She watched me give everything she claimed I'd never be able to offer. Let me tell you how we got here. 3 years ago, I was dating a woman named Mira, 26F. I was 30, a network analyst, making around $68,000. Myra worked in PR for a luxury lifestyle brand and lived for social media validation. Our relationship had hit that stage where friends kept asking, "When's the proposal?" Myra's mom even sent me Instagram links to ring designs. It was exhausting, but I loved her. Or thought I did. I started saving. After paying rent on my small 1-bedroom in Garland, my car note, and student loans, I figured I could responsibly afford about a $3,200 ring without torching my emergency fund. Not much by Dallas standards, but I was proud of scraping that together. I found a stunning piece at a small jeweler. Platinum band, brilliant cut, modest but classy. I imagined Mira showing it off, glowing. I planned to propose at Ovaro's, this rooftop spot she adored. I made a reservation for her birthday, secured her favorite table near the skyline view. The ring was burning a hole in my jacket pocket all night, then it all unraveled. Over dessert, as I nervously started talking about our future, Myra cut me off. Her voice was steady, almost rehearsed. "Liam, we need to have a real talk." My heart sank. "What's up? My friend Haley just got engaged." The ring? Tiny. Like, embarrassing tiny. We all felt awful for her when she showed it. I blinked. "Okay." She didn't hesitate. "I know you're thinking of proposing, but I'm begging you, don't. Not until you can afford something worthy. My friends would tear me apart behind my back. You'd hate seeing me humiliated. Let's be smart. Wait until you're more established." I felt like I'd been punched. I managed to keep my face neutral. S.O. don't propose. Because the ring would embarrass you? Exactly. I mean, Liam ... look at where we live. This isn't about love. It's about reality. The waiter came with the check. I paid. Silent. Dropped her at her high-rise. Didn't even walk her up. "You're mad," she said as I opened her door. "No, I'm clear on what matters to you." That night, I returned the ring. Got every penny back. 2 weeks later, I ended it. "It's about the ring talk, isn't it?" she demanded. I just said, "It's about seeing what you value." She tried backtracking, claiming she'd been stressed that I misunderstood, but the damage was done. The mask had slipped. Myra cared more about appearances than partnership. I cut all contact. I buried myself in work. Took side gigs, fixing networks for small businesses. Pushed myself hard. After 8 months, I met Carly, 28F, at a charity trivia night. She was nothing like Myra. Drove a 10-year-old Honda she'd saved up to buy outright. Lived in a cozy duplex. Wore simple jewelry she'd inherited from her grandma. She ran a small grant writing business for nonprofits. Smart, kind, zero pretense. Carly and I clicked. We hiked. We cooked at home. We laughed like idiots at free concerts. I didn't feel like I had to prove anything. I felt seen. By the end of year 1, I knew this was the person I wanted. Not because of pressure, because she made me better. I quietly started looking at rings. Carly loved artisan stuff, mentioned once how mass-market jewelry felt soulless. I found a jeweler in Fort Worth who specialized in custom, ethically sourced pieces. After months of hustling extra gigs, I bought a stunning $4,700 sapphire ring in a hand-forged gold setting. Unique, meaningful. Carly all the way. And then, fate handed me the chance for poetic justice. 6 months after I bought Carly's ring, life set up the ultimate stage for revenge. Carly's grant writing business had landed a big contract with a community health nonprofit. They were celebrating at Ryder's, an upscale steakhouse downtown. The same place Myra used to gush about as where real proposals happen. Yeah, irony's a cruel little devil. Carly invited me to join the team dinner after the formal part wrapped up. Said they were all family-friendly types. And no. One would mind. I agreed. My mind racing. Could this be it? Could karma really be teeing this up for me? I didn't even know if Mira still lived in Dallas. But something told me. Fate wasn't done with us that night. We got dressed up. Carly in this emerald green dress that made her look like a goddess. Me in a suit I bought on clearance 2 years ago, but somehow felt like $1 million in. We walked into Ryder's, and my heart stopped for half a second. There she was, Myra, sitting at a long table across the room, laughing, that high-pitched, fake laugh I hadn't heard in over 2 years. She hadn't changed much. Same designer bag on the chair, same hungry eyes scanning the room to see who was watching. My stomach twisted. But then, relief. I wasn't angry. I was amused. What were the odds? Carly noticed my tension. Everything okay? She whispered. Perfect, I said, forcing a smile, just soaking it all in. We joined her team's table, ordered drinks, and made polite small talk. But my mind was racing. Should I do it tonight? Could I really propose with her sitting right there? Would that be too petty, too savage? Or was this the moment the universe handed me on a silver platter? Then Mira spotted me. Our eyes met across the restaurant. Her smile froze. Her expression flickered from curiosity to confusion to, was that panic? I watched her lips part slightly, as if she was about to say something, but then she caught herself. Oh, she recognized Carly too. Myra's gaze darted between us, and I could feel the gears turning in her head. I excused myself under the pretense of washing up. I needed a second to breathe, to think. In the bathroom mirror, I stared at my reflection. My hands were actually shaking. What was I afraid of? Myra. No, I was done with her manipulations, her snobbery, her shallow approval. Carly was everything Myra wasn't, and here was my chance to prove to myself, to Myra, to everyone, that I built something real, something she could never destroy. I walked back, adrenaline surging. Carly gave me that warm smile that always melted me. And I knew this was it. No more waiting, no more planning. This was our moment. As dessert arrived, I clinked my glass gently. The table fell quiet. I stood. Myra's table noticed. I could feel her eyes burning holes into me. Carly, I said, my voice steady, but my heart thundering. These past 2 years have been the best of my life. You've taught me what it means to be loved for who I am, not for what I can give. You've stood by me when I doubted myself, lifted me up when I was low. And every single day, I'm grateful. For you. She gasped softly, hands trembling. I dropped to one knee right there between the tables, riders full of high-powered executives, influencers, and whoever the hell Mira was trying to impress. I want to spend forever proving how lucky I am. Will you marry me? Time stopped. The whole restaurant seemed to lean in. And then, yes! Carly cried, tears spilling down her cheeks. Applause erupted. Even the servers clapped. I slipped the ring on her finger, and she stared at it. Like it was the Hope Diamond. Mira? Oh, Myra was pale, stiff, frozen in place, a fork halfway to her mouth. One of her companions whispered something, and she forced a smile, nodding like she wasn't watching her worst nightmare unfold. We kissed. The room kept cheering. A waiter brought champagne on the house. Mira and her crowd tried to leave discreetly, but not before I caught the last look she shot our way, bitter, hollow, defeated. And you know what? It wasn't even about her anymore. This wasn't some petty victory lap. This was our story now. Ours alone. The next morning, the buzz hadn't died down. Carly woke up early, still wearing the ring, still beaming. Was last night real? She whispered, half laughing, half crying. I kissed her forehead, every second of it. We spent the day calling family, sharing photos, replying to endless messages. People were thrilled. My mom actually cried on the phone, which I hadn't expected. Carly's dad, a no-nonsense ex-firefighter, told me he respected the hell out of me for doing it my way, not some flashy spectacle. Little did he know. But beneath the joy, I couldn't ignore the storm brewing, because it wasn't over. Not even close. By lunch, a text pinged my phone. An unknown number. Just one line. You really couldn't resist, could you? No name, no emojis. Just venom in digital form. Mira. Who else could it be? I stared at the screen, pulse quickening. Part of me wanted to ignore it. Part of me wanted to reply, resist what? Moving on? Finding someone worthy? But I didn't. I set the phone down, heart pounding. By Monday, the fallout had begun. A colleague stopped by my desk. Hey man, random, do you know Myra Fawcett? I froze. Why? He smirked. She's been asking about you. Ran into her at a networking event. She was fishing for info, salary, title, even if Carly's family had money. Creepy stuff. My blood boiled. What was her angle? Guilt trip? Sabotage? Desperation? I didn't know. But I wasn't going to give her the satisfaction of a reaction. Days passed. Then a week. Then 2. I thought maybe she'd let it go. Maybe seeing me happy had finally sunk in. Maybe karma had worked its magic. But then came the charity gala. Carly's nonprofit had been shortlisted for a major grant. The foundation hosting the event had invited all the finalists to a black-tie gala downtown. I rented a tux. Carly wore a simple navy gown that made every woman in the room look overdressed. We felt unstoppable. And then I saw her. Mira. She was on the arm of some tech CEO, all dripping diamonds and fake smiles. The second she spotted us, her expression soured. The room wasn't big enough for both our egos, apparently. She made a beeline toward us during the mingling hour. Liam, she purred, like we were old friends. And this must be Carly. I've heard so much about you. Carly, sweet as ever, offered her hand. Myra air-kissed the air next to it, like she was royalty. You look comfortable, Myra said, eyes raking over Carly's understated gown. The barb was so thinly veiled, it was practically naked. Thanks, Carly said, not missing a beat. I believe in dressing for myself, not for Instagram. I almost choked, trying not to laugh. Mira turned back to me, smiled tight. Congrats again on the engagement. That ring, so unique. Carly lifted her hand proudly. I love it. It's us. I'd hate to wear something chosen for other people's approval. Myra's mask cracked for just a second. I saw it. That flicker of rage, envy, whatever poison fueled her. Then she was gone, retreating to her CEO like the encounter had never happened. I exhaled. Carly looked up at me. Friend of yours? Ancient history, I said, wrapping my arm around her. Let's focus on tonight. But the night had more in store. After dinner, during speeches, Myra's table wasn't paying attention. Loud laughter, whispered gossip. Carly's organization won the grant, and as we stood for photos, I caught Myra watching from the edge of the crowd, eyes sharp, mouth twisted. I almost felt sorry for her. Almost. The next morning, another text. Guess money changes everything, huh? I didn't reply. What was there to say? I wasn't playing her game. I had everything I wanted. And she had a front row seat to the life she threw away. But I knew this wasn't over. Not yet. Myra wasn't done. And neither was fate. I thought the gala was the peak of Myra's bitterness. I was wrong. That was just her warm-up act. Because what came next? That was war. It started with whispers. A week after the gala, Carly mentioned something strange. Hey, did you hear what people are saying? That I'm some kind of gold digger? I stared at her. What? From who? Just chatter. A client hinted at it. Someone at the co-working space made a crack about my lucky catch. It's weird. My blood ran cold. I knew where this came from. Myra. She was poisoning the well, trying to tarnish Carly's reputation, because she couldn't stand seeing me happy. I tried to brush it off. Jealousy, that's all it is, I said, hugging Carly tight. But I was seething. What kind of person stoops this low? I didn't have to wonder. I already knew. Then it escalated. Carly's biggest client, a community literacy nonprofit, abruptly canceled a contract. No explanation. Just an email. We're going in a different direction. Carly was crushed. That contract kept her business steady. Losing it meant cutting back, maybe even letting her assistant go. I felt rage, like I hadn't in years. I dug around quietly, and what do you know? Myra's new boyfriend? He sat on that nonprofit's board. Coincidence? I didn't think so. I didn't have proof, but I knew. Myra was using whatever scraps of power she could grab to strike at. Us. And that's when I stopped being polite. I'd had enough. I reached out to a friend in PR, someone who owed me a favor. Told him I wanted to pitch a story to the local press. Small business owner overcomes challenges to win major grant. Engaged to a local tech worker. Building a life together. Yada yada. Feel good human interest stuff. He bit. Within a week, Dallas Today ran a profile on us. Photos, quotes, the whole package. And guess who couldn't stand it? That same afternoon, I got a call. Unknown number. I picked up out of sheer curiosity. Liam, this is Myra. Her voice was flat, cold, calculated. You're really going to make this public? Humiliate me like this? I laughed. I couldn't help it. Humiliate you? Myra, no one's thinking about you. Silence. Then, you always did know how to play the victim. That did it. I'm not the one starting rumors, or tanking contracts, or texting my ex like a stalker. You threw us away, Myra. You don't get to rewrite that. She hung up on me. I told Carly everything that night. No more protecting her from Myra's venom. No more secrets. Carly listened, wide-eyed, and when I was done, she just said, "What a sad, small person. Let's not let her ruin what we've built." God, I loved her even more for that. But karma wasn't finished. A month later, Mira's world started crumbling. Her CEO boyfriend, indicted for fraud. His assets frozen. His name splashed all over the news. Mira, once the queen of Dallas social circles, now photographed leaving court looking like a ghost. The charity board dropped her like a bad habit. Invitations dried up. The people she lived to impress, gone. Just like that. I didn't gloat. I didn't have to. Life handled that for me. Carly's business bounced back. Clients came out of the woodwork, wanting to work with the inspiring couple they'd read about. Her assistant stayed. We hired another part-timer. I got a promotion at work, team lead on a major project. And Mira? She tried one last time. An email. No subject line. Just 2 words. "I'm sorry." I stared at it for a long time. Then, deleted it, because we were done playing her game. We'd already won. Life after Myra's final email felt peaceful. Like the storm had passed. But if you think the story ends there, oh no. That's when the real punch came. Because sometimes, revenge doesn't need planning. It just happens. And when karma swings, it swings hard. It started with a call from Carly while I was at work. Her voice shook with excitement. "You're not gonna believe this. What's up? Guess who applied for a temp job at one of my clients' offices? Mira." I almost dropped my phone. "You're kidding. I'm dead serious." She's using her maiden name, probably to dodge the bad press, but I saw the resume. It's her. Liam, she's desperate. I had to sit down. The same woman who once mocked my earning potential? The one who said I wasn't ready? Now groveling for temp work from people in our circle. The irony was so thick, I could taste it. I didn't say anything to Carly at first, but inside, I was on fire. Not with hate, with satisfaction. The universe was doing my dirty work better than I ever could. Carly, because she's classier than me, didn't say a word to her client. She didn't have to. Myers' resume went in the trash like a bad flyer. No interview. No callback. Just nothing. That's how far she'd fallen. And me? I kept climbing. The promotion had come with a raise. Side projects were rolling in. We'd set a wedding date, locked down a venue, even booked a small cabin in Colorado for our honeymoon. Life was good. Real good. But wait, there's more. A month before the wedding, Carly's old professor invited her to speak at a university event, a panel on nonprofit leadership. She was over the moon. I tagged along to support her. And guess who was working the front desk at the conference center? Yep, Myra. Hair pulled back, name tag crooks, smile forced. She looked right at me, and I swear, I saw her soul die a little. I nodded politely, walked past without a word. That was the sweetest revenge of all, because nothing I could have said would have matched the message that moment sent. Look at where we are. Look at where you are. Enough said. Carly rocked her panel, by the way. The audience loved her. Afterwards, people lined up to shake her hand, ask for advice. I stood to the side, just watching her shine. Mayra watched too, from her little desk, invisible to everyone except me. Later that night, over dinner, Carly asked, "Do you ever feel bad for her?" I thought about it. Really thought. Then shook my head. No, she chose this. Every step. Carly nodded. No judgment. Just understanding. I hope she figures herself out. That's the thing about Carly. No spite. No bitterness. Just hope. That's what makes her the one. And still, Mira couldn't let go. 2 weeks before the wedding, another email. This one longer. "I've been thinking about everything." I realized now I made a mistake. I was young, stupid. I thought status mattered. More than love. I see you're happy, and I'm genuinely glad. I don't expect anything. I just wanted to say that. Sarcasm boiled up in me. "Oh, how noble of you, Myra." But I didn't reply. What was the point? Words are cheap. Choices are what count. And hers had written this ending long ago. The wedding? Perfect. Small, meaningful. filled with people who mattered. Carly wore a simple dress that made her glow like the sun. I couldn't stop smiling. We said our vows under a grove of trees with no audience but family, friends, and the wind in the leaves. And Mira? She wasn't invited. Of course, but I heard. Through the grapevine, she saw the photos. Someone said she commented on a mutual friend's post. Just a heart emoji. As if that erased everything. As if she hadn't tried to tear us down. It didn't matter. She was a ghost now. A lesson. A chapter closed. The best part? I never had to lift a finger. Karma wrote the ending for me. And I got everything she said I wasn't good enough to have. With someone who knew my worth from day one. Married life with Carly was everything I hadn't dared hope for. We settled into a rhythm that felt right. Simple joys. Late night talks. Building something real brick by brick. No performances. No pretending. Just us. And as the months rolled on, Myra faded further into the rearview. Or so I thought. Because fate, it seems, wasn't done handing out fireworks. About 9 months after the wedding, I was asked to speak at a regional tech conference. A big deal for my field. Carly came too, ever my cheerleader. The venue? A massive downtown hotel. We checked in, grabbed our badges, and I felt on top of the world. That night, there was a networking mixer. The ballroom glittered with chandeliers, the hum of conversation. Filling the air, Carly mingled effortlessly. I chatted with colleagues, making connections, shaking hands. And then, the moment I never saw coming. I turned, drink in hand, and there she was. Myra. But not the Mira I'd known. Not the polished, high society, status-chasing Mira. This was a Mira stripped bare. Cheap dress that didn't fit quite right. Hair frizz from humidity. Eyes tired. That look people get when life's been chewing them up. She froze when she saw me. It was like the air got sucked out of the room. For a heartbeat, no one else existed. Liam, she said. Voice small, like she'd shrunk. Hi. I raised my glass in a polite nod. Myra, she hesitated. I didn't know you'd be here. I'm speaking tomorrow. Oh? She swallowed. I'm working registration. Temporary gig. The weight of those words hit. Working registration. For a conference where I was a guest of honor. Carly joined me then, slipping her hand into mine, sensing the tension. Hi, I'm Carly. Myra's smile was brittle. I know. Congratulations on everything. Carly, being Carly, was gracious. Thanks. It's been a great year. Myra looked at us. Really looked. And in that second, I saw it all on her face. The regret. The envy. The realization that this was what she'd thrown away. And now, here we stood. Me. Successful, fulfilled, loved. Her, handing out name badges at the edges of a world she used to try to rule. I could have rubbed it in. Could have said something cutting, something savage, but I didn't need to. The scene said it all. The universe had written the final chapter. Carly excused us gently, pulling me toward the main room. As we walked away, I felt Myra's eyes burning into my back. But I didn't look back. Not once. Later that night, in our room, Carly laughed softly. Was that the famous Mira? The one and only. She looked sad. She is. I wrapped my arms around her, but that's not our problem. And that was the explosive ending. Not some fiery showdown. Not cruel words. Just quiet, undeniable triumph. The kind that doesn't need to shout, because the victory is living. Well, weeks later, the conference published a feature about the keynote speakers. My face, Carly's arm through mine, smiling like we'd won the lottery. We had. The caption read, "Building success together, a power couple's journey." Mira saw it. I'm sure of that. Maybe she clipped it out. Maybe she cursed at it. Doesn't matter. The story had written itself. The boy she thought wasn't good enough became the man she never deserved. And the life she scorned became everything she'd secretly wanted. That's the kind of ending no one can rewrite. That's the end of today's story. Did things turn out the way you thought? Or were there some surprises along the way? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to hit the like button. And if you haven't joined the community yet, now's the perfect time. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you're always the first to catch new stories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next adventure.